guy Paul, and there was this other guy, and his name was Silas. And they were just these couple of guys that God had given this inspiration to go around and tell other people about him and about Jesus. So they went to this town called Philippi. And they went and they were trying to start a church there in this town called Philippi. And they did. They started this church, and it was great, and it was wonderful. Paul and Silas, they're walking around. They started this great church, and pretty soon there's a slave girl that starts following them around, and she says, "These men are the servant of the Most High God." And this slave girl had something kind of weird about her. She could go around, and she could tell people the future. She could tell people's fortunes. And she'd be like, "Ooh, I see in the future for you that a giant boulder is going to fall on your head, and it's going to hurt." And Paul and Silas were like, there's something kind of fishy about this girl. And they went and they cast an evil spirit out of her that had been taking over and giving her this ability to tell the future. So what happened after that, the slave girl's owner, he was making money off of her telling people's fortunes. And he got kind of mad, so he had Paul and Silas thrown in jail. One night, Paul and Silas are in the dark jail, and they've been in here for a while, and it's kind of gross, but they still are in high spirits. They're very happy because they're singing praises to Jesus and to God. They hear this crack, and pretty soon another one, and then the ground starts to shake beneath them, and pretty soon a huge earthquake goes through and just decimates the prison. And the earthquake ends, and Paul and Silas look down and they're like, "Hey, our chains are gone off of our hands and off of our feet." The prison guard, he just knows that this is bad. I mean, all the prisoners probably got loose because of this earthquake, and there's nothing he could do about it, and he's probably going to get in trouble. So he's ready to just go really hurt himself really bad. And Paul and Silas call out, "Jailer, jailer! No, don't do anything. We're still here." So the jailer's like, "Okay." So he walks over there and checks, and there's Paul and Silas. They're still there. They didn't leave. So the jailer, he goes down to where Paul and Silas were, and he's like, "Oh, thank goodness you didn't leave." And he's like, "Paul and Silas, what must I do to be saved?" And Paul and Silas say, "You must believe in Jesus with all your heart." Then later, jailer takes them back to his house, bandages them up, cleanses their wounds, and gives them a good meal and everything. And Paul and Silas proceed to tell the jailer and his whole family about all the things that Jesus has done and how they can be saved and be children of Christ. And we could be just like Paul and Silas were to the jailer. We can be the light to the jailer who seemed like he had no hope. He thought all the prisoners were gone and he was just going to go and really do some damage to himself. Paul and Silas were like, "Don't go." We can be that light to those around us. And that is what this means to me.